Please explain in the most scientific way.
Oh, there we go.
Great. Why we want high GI carbs post-workout.
What scientific? Can we not just be simple and just say, well, if we think about...
No, Ben Ridgers wants the most scientific way.
I've not got enough energy.
Well, you do simple and then I'll try and fill in the gaps with some science.
Okay. So basically, post-workout, our glycogen stores
carbs
are going to be depleted, or in a more depleted state, and we're going to be wanting to soak up nutrients. So as a result of that, what we want to do is we basically want a fast-acting carbohydrate source in the sense of something like cereal, something sugary, to pretty much replenish those glycogen stores as fast and as efficiently as possible, and therefore start the recovery process in immediate effect. You wouldn't want to have a massive amount of fat and potentially, let's say, a slower digesting carb source, because it can impair recovery by just the general sort of our body's ability to break it down and taking a bit more time.
So guys, if you want your questions answered on the podcast, every week we do ask on our Instagram. We put up a stories box, so keep an eye out on mine and Reese's stories for that, so you can ask your questions there.
Simple.
Yeah, I think that's a bit of a blend. Like, it's not that scientific, but it's not that simple. It's in the middle.
Yeah, so to add to that, I would say after a bout of exercise, whether it be resistance training, whether it be even cardiovascular training, but obviously if we're looking at in our realm, we're looking at bodybuilding, so resistance training. So basically carbohydrates are shuttled, obviously this is like whenever you consume food, carbohydrates and nutrients are going to be shuttled around the body with the help of things like water. Obviously your blood helps shuttle the nutrients around, water, sodium or electrolyte levels, and then we basically have something called GLUT or GLUT4, which is
it's going to be heightened post-workout.
Yeah,
that's coaches love that.
Very simply put, it is like your ability to uptake carbs is going to be greater when your GLUT4 levels or receptors are more sort of, if you like, the sort of ability to increase or the ability to eat more carbs is going to be easier, if you like, post-workout, because your GLUT4 levels are going to be, or GLUT4 levels are going to be greater. Like, that is the most sciencey I want to go in terms of what I'm going to be like, how I can try and make it sound simple. So basically, it's like, well, when is the best time in the day to eat more carbs? Realistically, theoretically, post-workout. So it makes sense to eat more carbs post-workout. How is it easier to get more carbs in? Probably have a higher GI carb source. Yes. So if you're having a low GI carb source, you're probably going to struggle to get more carbs in. So that's kind of why it makes sense. But like ultimately, it depends on the phase as well. Like, I'll have clients who, when they're dieting and they're not on a lot of food, like, I'm not like, make sure you have your cereal post-workout. No, just have a carb source. If anything, have something that's probably going to fill you up a little bit more. So maybe lower GI, maybe higher fibre, more satiating. So it's not essential, but it makes a lot of sense post-workout to have a high amount of carbohydrates in a short-term setting. That setting doesn't have to be.
Over here at Once You're In, we really appreciate the support. So we appreciate the story tags. Please keep them coming, because it means ever so much when it comes to social media and engagement. Thank you.
Within half an hour, it doesn't have to be within 4 hours, but it makes sense to have it closer to the workout, as long as digestion's okay.
Well, the main aim is going to be to literally replenish glycogen stores. So you don't want it to be like, ideally, like a second after you finish training, last set straight away.
The thing is, you're going to replenish those stores in the next 2 days regardless, and like you said, they're never going to be completely diminished.
And also
when we're going to fill up these stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And carbohydrates aren't also just immediate. It's not like we have 5 grams of carbs and instantly they're sucked straight into what we've just trained. It's going to be a case of what occurs over the next few meals, the next few hours, when we're sleeping. And likewise, just because we trained, even if you've had the hardest session of your life, I highly doubt there's going to be a case, batteries died on that one, I highly doubt there's ever going to be a case where we were to really assess and think we need all that food to be shuttled in immediately because there's zero glycogen and likewise glycogen available. We're still going to have some present. It's part of it where I think a lot of people can over-assess and over-analyse. But as Finn said, like, just keep it simple in the sense of you want to have your carbohydrates when you're going to be able to assimilate them in the best spot possible. That's going to be when GLUT4 is at a highest point, which is post-workout. And as a result of that, if you're in a gaining phase and you can get in a good amount of carbs post-workout, makes sense. In a diet, recovery is probably going to be something you want to make sure to stay on top of for performance. So therefore, have them post-workout and go for something that's going to be easy to get in relative to the phase.
Yeah, and it also, like, it makes sense to probably eat as soon as your heart rates come down and you're in a more relaxed state.
When you subscribe, guys, if you can, make sure to hit the notification bell. That'd be fantastic, just so you're fully notified whenever we upload a video.
If that's 20 minutes, cool. If it's an hour, cool. If it's 5 minutes, cool.
Yeah.
Like, eat when you feel ready, post-workout, as soon as you can.
Yeah.